Hi everyone, it's Cheryl. I'm here today with a tutorial on making these cute little button flowers. They've been making the rounds on Facebook. Everybody's been posting them, and they are just cute as a button. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, a friend of mine posted them about a month and a half ago or so, and I thought, well, gee, those are so cute, and they didn't look very hard. There were no directions. So I thought, well, I'm going to give it a try, and I did. And now my good friend Gareth has asked me to do a tutorial on them. Because like he said, they probably would be really cute on an ATC. They're small enough. And I'm going to steal your idea, Gareth. So thanks for the idea. And anyway, I'm going to attempt to show you how to do these. I haven't crocheted for a long time, not seriously. Just got back into it with the flowers I've been making. So we'll give it our best shot and see what happens. Okay, first of all, you're going to need a really small crochet hook, okay? This one is a size 8 or a 1.50 millimeter, okay? And as you can see, it's pretty tiny. But I need it tiny so that I can get it through the buttons. I didn't buy any special buttons. They have some I know with bigger holes in them. And I have access to those, so I was just using the regular buttons that I'm using. This one measures about, I don't know if you can see that, about 3/4 of an inch. I've got this camera zoomed in just about as far as I can, and I am using a totally different setup here for this tutorial only. I want to go back to my regular one. I have the camera on the tripod sitting right in front of me. I'm using my dining room table and I'm sitting on a stool, so I've tried to get it so that I will stay in shot, but I keep looking at the LCD screen and I keep watching what I'm doing, and occasionally I'll move out of shot. But I promise you, I will try to make this as simple, as quick, and as easy as I possibly can for you. The other thing is, because I'm using a regular button and the holes are small, I'm not using a standard yarn. What I am using is this, and what this is a yarn that they use for punch embroidery. It's very, very, very fine, if you can see that. Now, I found this at the junk/thrift stores here. I usually can buy it by the bag. It comes in a big variety of colors. Gareth, I don't know if you guys have this kind of stuff over in the UK, if you can have access to it. If you don't, let me know. I will send you some, because I have got plenty. Anyway, with that said, I'm going to show you the one flaw this yarn has, okay? And it won't do this while you're crocheting, but it breaks very, very easily. Now, it won't do this when you're crocheting unless you get a knot and you're pulling really tight. It shouldn't happen. So, anyway, let's get this started. First thing I do is I need to make my slip knot to go over my hook. So what I do is I wind it around my finger, like so, and then I pull it off. Okay, now I have a loop that looks like this. I take the tail of my yarn, the short piece, and I go back behind the loop, like so. Then I just reach through with my fingers and I pull it through. Okay, if you have a better way to do it, you know, please feel free to do whatever's most comfortable for you. This is just how I do it. Okay, I've got my loop here and I put my hook through it. And I want to pull it down, but I do not want to pull it tight. I don't want it too loose. I don't want it too tight. Okay? So, I know you can't hardly see that. It's so tiny, but leave yourself enough room on there because you're going to have to grab your yarn and pull it through. Okay, now I'm going to take my button and I've got the tail over here. The short tail is going to get in my way if I don't hold on to it. So I have the hook between my thumb and index finger, and I'm just going to move the tail of that yarn between my thumb and my third finger. Okay, still being sure not to pull tight. And I have found this works for me. This is a good way for me to do this. I do not need your help. You need to go down. You need to get down. No, you cannot be here this time. Okay, so I'm sorry about that kitty interruption. So with this in mind, I've got the button in my left hand, I've got the thread in my left hand, and you can hold it however that thread's going to work best for you. I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to put it through one of the holes on the button like this. Okay, now my button is on my hook. Get out of here right now. You need to get down. My button is on my hook, so it's not going to go anywhere. I'm going to take my yarn and pull it around to the back and go over the hook. I hope you can see that. And I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to pull the thread through the button like this. So I now have 2 loops. Okay? Now, I've got the button in my left hand. Still got a hold of the tail over here. I'm going to transfer the tail to my left hand because right now I need to hold on to that, and I'm just going to try tucking it between my first and second finger. Then I need to go under the yarn again, like so, and I'm sorry about getting my finger in the way. I crochet different than others. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to pull it through both of my loops so that I only have one loop. Sorry, Kitty's playing. It's fine. It's fine. You don't have to, it's fine, okay? She's just playing. She's not making trouble. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Alright, so now I've got one loop up here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 5. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so now I have 5 chains on there. Okay, and as you'll notice, I use my left hand. Instead of moving my right hand a lot, I use my left hand to guide my yarn. So no, I don't crochet like everyone else. Honey was asking me if there was a way to keep your loop from pulling down too tight when you're crocheting. The only thing I have found, Honey, is that if you put your index finger of the hand you're using on top of the loop, usually that stops it. If you can see, that stops it from pulling the loop any tighter when you're going to go through. So now what we're going to do is we've chained 5. We're going to take that and we're going to go through the button again, and we're going to pull up a loop, and we are just going to slip that loop through the loop on our hook. Okay, now we have that. We're back to one loop again. It looks like I've split my yarn a little bit maybe, but okay, so we've got that, and this is going to be where the first petal of our flower is going to go, is in that chain 5 space. Alright, we're just going to chain 5 more. Okay, and we're just going to go down through the next hole, and you need a 4-hole button. You cannot use a 2-hole button. I don't think it would work right. You'll have too much yarn through your holes. And we're just going to slip right back through that one again. So now we've got 2 of those, and we're going to repeat and chain 5 again. And I'm trying to stay in frame here for you. I'm sorry if I get out of frame. Alright, we are now at our last hole. Now the little flowers have 5 petals. So what we need to do is we're going to have to go through one hole twice, and I am using my 4th hole for the one I go through twice. So I'm going to go down, I'm going to get the yarn on my hook, pull it back through, I'm going to pull it through my chain like so, and I'm going to chain 5 more, and now the tail is in the way, you see, so we kind of have to hold that down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we're going to go right back in the same hole we were just in, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to grab the yarn, we're going to pull it up through, holding on to everything, and we're just going to pull that through. Oops, get it together here. I just lost that one. Okay, back on my hook. Alright, and we're just gonna, if I can get a hold of it, we're going to pull it. Alright. I'm going to have to take out one of my chain 5 stitches here because my yarn split. Well, maybe not. Maybe I can get it back. I'm sorry about this, guys. But this does happen when you're crocheting using thread yarn or whatever. It doesn't matter the size hook. It does happen occasionally. Okay. So that is the end of my chain 5. I'm going to put it back through the button and do this right this time. Get a good hold on it. Whoops. My hook was turned. Get it up through there. I'm going to pull it. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm not getting it pulled through there right. Okay, my yarn split a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, I'm through. Alright, I'm going to chain 5 more. Okay. Alright. So then we're going to take this, and what we're going to do is, and you can go into one of the chains over here where you started, or you can just go right through your first chain 5 space and pull. Make sure you pull that all the way through the loop on your hook. That's a slip stitch. Now it's joined, and we have our 5 spots to make our 5 petals. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to start the petal, and to make a nice even uniform petal, this was the best way I could think of doing it. I'm going to take the hook and we're going to do a single crochet. So I'm going to go down through the chain 5 space, as you can see. I'm going to take the yarn, I'm going to pull it up on my hook so I have two loops up there, and I'm going to go over my hook again and I'm going to pull that through both loops. So that's a single crochet, that's our first stitch. Now we're going to do a half double. And the way I do my half doubles, I hope this is right. I've been doing it for like 40 years, so almost. So yeah, okay, so I have yarn, let me start this over. I'm going to go through my chain 5 space. I'm going to put the yarn over the hook. Let me see if I can get this to focus a little better because we're awful close. I'm going to take and pull that. I just messed up. Sorry guys. Sorry. Don't do that one. I will go through each of these as I do them. Okay, I'm going to go over my hook first. Put the hook underneath the chain 5 space. Grab my yarn and pull it through. So you see I have three loops on my yarn now, or on my hook. I'm going to take and go over my hook again. I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to pull through the first 2. I still have 2 left, and I'm going to do it again until I have 1 left on my thing. Okay. Now what we need is 5 double crochets. Okay. So we're going to yarn over the hook, go down through the loop, the chain 5 loop, and we're going to first of all yarn over the hook and come through the first loop. We still have 3. We're going to yarn over again, come through the next 2, and that'll still leave us with 2, and we're going to yarn over one more time and pull it through those last 2. We have 1 double crochet now. We need to do this 5 times, okay? So we're going to yarn over the hook, go down through the chain 5 space, grab the yarn and pull it through. 3 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over again. We're going to go through the first one. We're going to yarn over again. We're going to go through the second one. And we're going to yarn over one more time and go through the third one. Okay, now we have 2 double crochets. We're going to do it again. Yarn over, go through the chain 5 space, pull it through the first loop, yarn over, pull through the second loop. We have 2 left. Yarn over one more time, pull through the last loop. Okay. Trying to get this so this camera is not blurring out on me, and I apologize if it is. Okay, we have 3 on now. We got to do 2 more. So we're going to yarn over. We're going to go through the chain 5 space. We're going to pull our yarn through. 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over. Come through the first loop. 3 loops left. Yarn over. Come through the next 2 loops. I got this too tight. Okay, we have 2 loops left on our hook. Yarn over and come through that, and we have 1 more to go. Yarn over through the chain 5 space. Yarn over and go through the first loop on our hook. Yarn over, go through the next 2 loops on our hook. Yarn over and go through those last 2, okay? Now, to make our petal nice and even, we have to do another half double. So we're going to yarn over and go through. We're going to grab our yarn and pull it back up through like so. So we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over again, and we're going to pull through the first 2 loops and yarn over again and go through the last 2 loops. That's our half double crochet. All right, now we need a single crochet. So we're going to just stick the loop through the chain 5 space like so. We're going to grab the yarn and pull it through. We have 2 loops on here. And we're going to yarn over, and we're just going to pull it through those 2. And as you can see, we have our first little flower petal. Okay? Now we're going to do this 5 more times. I'm going to go through this one with you. I'm going to work the next 2 by myself, and then I'll go through the last one more time with you, okay? So we need to make a slip stitch. And it doesn't matter on this one. You can either go into one of the stitches over here, but when you're working with yarn that small, it's kind of hard. So I'm going to go through my chain 5 space. I'm just going to take my yarn. I'm going to go through the next chain 5 space. I'm going to yarn over my hook, pull that through, and then I'm going to pull it all the way through the one on my hook. Okay, so I've just made a slip stitch. All right, one single crochet. We're going to put the hook through the chain 5 space, grab the yarn, bring it up. We have 2 loops on our hook. Okay, I'm going to yarn over that and just pull it through both of those, and that's our first single crochet. Okay, now we're going to do a half double. So we're going to yarn over the hook, put the hook through the chain 5 space like so, pull our yarn through. I got 3 on the hook. We're going to yarn over that. We're going to go through the next 2, and then we're going to yarn over and go through the last 2, and that's our half double. Now we want 3 double crochet. So we're going to take the hook and we're going to yarn over the hook, Stick the hook through the chain 5 space like so. Pull the yarn out. I'm sorry about my finger getting in the way. We're going to go through the first, we're going to go through the first loop, yarn over again, and we're going to go through the next 2 loops, and I'm off screen, and we're going to yarn over and go through the last 2 loops, okay? That's 1 double crochet. We have to do 4 more for this space, okay? So we're going to yarn over, go through the chain 5 space, and draw up our loop. Okay, I'm going to yarn over, go through the first loop. Oops, and I went through the first 2. Okay, so let's get this going right again. And, oops, I'm going to have to do it over. Okay, so yarn over, go through the chain 5 space and pull up our loop. Okay, 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, go through that first space, and we still have 3 loops on our hook. I'm sorry, I was trying to move it so you could see. Yarn over, go through the next 2. We have 2 left. Yarn over and go through the last 2. Okay, that's 2 double crochets done on that one. Okay, now we're going to do it again. And I'm sorry if this is blurring because it's just so hard for this camera to focus this close. We're going to yarn over. We're going to go through the chain 5 space, pull our yarn through, 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over that one. We're going to go through the first one. We're going to go through the next 2, and we're going to yarn over and go through the last one. Okay, and that's 3. Yarn over through the chain 5 space, like so. Got the 3 loops. We're going to yarn over and go through the first, and I went through the first 2 again. Okay, we're going to yarn over and we're going to go through the next 2, and we're going to yarn over and go through the last 2. Okay, now we have 3 of those. I had 2 more to go. Yarn over through the chain 5 space, pull your yarn through. Okay, like that. 3 on the hook. Yarn over and go through the first, yarn over and go through the next 2, and yarn over one more time and through the last one, and we have 1 more to make. Okay, so we're going to yarn over the hook. Oops, hook goes through this chain 5 space like so. Grab the yarn, pull it through, 3 on the hook, pull it through the first loop on the hook, yarn over and pull it through this next 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull it through those last, whoops, sorry guys, yarn over and pull it through those last 2. Okay, so we've got our 5 double crochet. Now we're going to do a half double. We're going to yarn over and we're going to go through the loop, the chain 5 space again. Yarn over, pull it through that first loop, yarn over and pull it through that second loop, and yarn over and pull it through the last 2. Okay, now we're going to go to the last half double for this one, this petal. Yarn over, go through the chain 5 space, get 3 loops on your hook, yarn over the hook, pull it through the first 2, yarn over the hook, and pull it through the second 2. Okay, and now we just need our single crochet, so we're going to just poke that needle through there, pull up some yarn. We have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through, and we've got that one. So now we've got 2 petals on our little flower. Okay, alright, now I'm just going to be quiet. I'm going to try to stay in camera, and I'm going to do these next 2, and then we'll go over the last one more time. Okay, and I don't mean to be redundant. I know there may be some people out there who are not very familiar to crocheting, so this is for them. Okay, and the ones of you who know how to do it, have fun. Okay, so I need to make a slip stitch in the next one, so I'm just putting the yarn into the chain 5 space, pulling up yarn from behind, and I'm going to take that and just slip it through like that. Okay, now I'm sorry, I'm jiggling the camera here. I've got to reposition. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to go ahead now, and I'm just going to do these next 2, and then I'll go through the last one again with you. Okay, I'm done with that, and we are back at our very last chain 5 space here, and we're almost done with the flowers. So once again, and I'm sorry for being redundant, I'm going to go through this. I'm going to make a slip stitch into my chain 5 ring. So I'm just going to, and I keep moving the camera, I am so sorry. This is such an odd position. I'm going to reposition just a little. There we go. My leg is going to sleep. I'm sitting kind of on the edge of the stool. I need to catch my loop again. Okay. I'm sitting on the edge of the stool and it's putting my leg to sleep. So yeah, I'm moving the camera. Okay, so we're going to make our slip stitch, and we're just going to go through our chain 5 space and pull up the loop, and we are going to yarn over and, or no, I'm so sorry people. We just need, go through this again. I'm sorry, I had something else in my mind. Shouldn't do that. Okay, we're going to just make our slip stitch. We're going to go through the chain 5 space. We're going to pull a stitch through the one on our hook, okay? Alright, now we're going to one single crochet, so we're just going to put the hook under, we're going to grab the yarn, bring it up, 2 loops on our hook, we're going to go through, yarn over and go through those. Okay, half double, we're going to yarn over the hook, put it through the chain 5 space, put it back, pull up our yarn from the back, so we have 3 on the loop, or on the hook. Go through the first 2, yarn over and go through the second 2. Okay, now we're going to do our 5 double crochets. We're going to yarn over, we're going to pull the loop up from the back, we're going to go through the first loop on our hook, we still have 3, through the next 2 loops on our hook, we have 2 left, through the next 2 on our hook, we have 1 double crochet down. Do this 4 more times. We're going to yarn over, go through the chain 5 space, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, go through the first loop, oops, I didn't get through that first loop, there we go, still have 3 on my hook, yarn over, go through the next 2, and oops, yep, this is where I'm losing it, because I'm sitting here because I had to start over on that one. Okay, I've only got one double crochet completed. I'm sorry people, I gotta stand up. My leg is, I'm sorry, I'm kicking the camera. My leg is so asleep, it's crazy. So bear with me just a second here, please. I need to get my leg to wake up. Okay, I'm so sorry about that interruption. That was just getting nasty. And it was taking my mind off what I'm doing, so I'm sorry. Okay, we're going to go for our second double crochet. I have yarned over my hook. I'm going through the chain 5 space, and I'm going to grab my yarn from behind and pull it up. So I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, and we go through that first chain on there. So I still have 3. I don't know if you can see that. Come on, camera. I'm going to yarn over and go through the next 2, and I still have 2 left, and I'm going to yarn over and go through the last 2, okay? And I need to do that 3 more times. So yarn over, through the chain 5 space, pull up the loop, yarn over and go through the first one, yarn over and go through the next 2, and yarn over and go through the next 2, okay? I now have 3 of those done. I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to go through that chain 5 space and pull up my yarn. I'm going to yarn over and go through the first loop on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and go through the second loop on my hook. And I'm going to yarn over and go through the last 2. Okay, I have, did I have 3 or 4 on there? Okay, I think I have 4. So this will be the last one. I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to go through the chain 5 space, pull up the yarn, 3 on the hook, yarn over, go through the first, oops, I went through 2, I was watching the screen again and not what I was doing. I'm sorry about that, this is so confusing. Okay, so I've gone through the first loop, I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to lose all of them. Yay. I am so sorry people. This is like probably going to be the absolute worst tutorial I have ever done. And it's just, yeah, it's just me. I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to go through those next 2. I have 2 left on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and go through the last 2, okay? Now we're going to do one more half double, so we're going to yarn over. We're going to go through the chain 5 space, like so. I'm going to yarn over and pull through the first 2. I'm going to yarn over and pull through the last 2. And that's our half double crochet. Now we need 1 single crochet. That's what we have left. So just going to go through the loop, grab it from the back, bring it around, go over the hook, pull that through, and we are done that far. Now, What we're going to do, if we can, is we're going to try to find one of our first chains over here toward the bottom of our flower where we first joined. We are going to put the hook through that. We're going to grab the yarn from behind, pull it through. I've got 2 stitches on. I'm going to take that stitch I just pulled up and go through. Sorry, that wasn't on there. I'm going to go through that first. I'm going to go through the chain that was on my hook. We're going to make a slip stitch. And then we're just going to make another one. We're going to yarn over. We're going to go through that stitch again, and we're going to pull up our ends. Okay? We're going to just cut that, pull one out, pull this one down tight. We've just finished our flower, and all you'll have left to do is weaving your ends in through your flower to finish it off. And there we have it. And I truly hope this wasn't too confusing. I apologize for all the bumping of the camera I did. I was fine up until my leg fell asleep, and it's still waking up, so it's not fun. I know I was off camera a little bit, but I really hope you got the idea. I will put the crochet directions down in the bottom of the description box for you. If you have any questions at all, please leave me a comment. I will get back to you with an answer. I am so sorry. This probably is the worst tutorial I've ever done. Yeah, I'm really nervous on this one. New camera angle. I haven't crocheted for a long time, so I apologize. Anyway, I thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you will all try making these because they are just so darn cute. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.